Well, hello everyone, it's Chichuki back with another Chichuki Plays episode. Tonight on the program, we're checking out Advent Dawn. This is like a graphic novel, anime kind of game. That's all I know. If you're new to the channel, thumbs up, share the video, subscribe, and leave a comment because we're trying to grow the channel. Use your help. We're going to probably play for about 45 minutes, or however long we go, about an hour. Let's do it. I think I can play with mouse and a keyboard or controller. I will play with both. Select your voice mode. These settings can be changed and or customized at any time in the preferences menu. Partial voice acting and voice blips. Partial voice acting, voiced lines play when available. Voice blips. Recommended this option is best for immersion. Partial voice acting. All right, we'll do this one. Battle, the final rebellion. Enjoy Ninja Stevie in the corner. Hello. August 26th, 2060. That's 16 days after my birthday. August 10th is my birthday. Line, question, depth. Fire and rattle. Heat and decay. Disbelief is followed by a crushing anger. A lone soldier stands heaving with each breath. Scorched earth and flesh. Before him, the hazy smoke signals the close of the battle. Oh, it's kind of like how New Jersey is now because of Canadian wildfires, but I digress. A hot and dry wind beats across his cracked lips. A lone soldier. Everything he fought for has been utterly incinerated. The last survivor of the rebel forces now stands looking out on a sea of destruction. Though he barely has time to accept the magnitude of what he has lost. Behind him, the sound of scraping metal crescendos. The enemy approaches. Metallic monsters come to finish the job. The bombardments began. With all his ammunition spent, the lone soldier still refuses to relent. The man squeezes his fist in anger. Futile as it might be, the anger coursing through him over his fallen comrades isn't easily abated. He will destroy them for what they've done here today. He will only have one shot at this. He takes a deep breath to muster the last of his fading strength. Let me just see here. The title menu, to auto, press lone save, quick save map. Okay. With a decisive dash, the enraged soldier draws his only remaining weapon. He jags his knife upwards with a wild slash. The strike snaps at the joint of the neck area, severing the connection to the central processor. For even the AI drone units could not have foreseen such a swift and unexpected strike. In all their training data, not a single scenario indicated that such a defeated foe would attempt such a desperate maneuver, let alone successfully thread the needle to achieve it. It was almost superhuman, but such was the resolve, even here at the end, of the rebellion's last soldier still standing. The assault continues as if in one motion, with two heavy and precise arcs cleaving through alloy joints. And in a flash, 3 of the metallic automatons have fallen to the scorched earth. As miraculous as this feat was, this is no cause for celebration. This is but a triviality, a momentary stalling in the face of the advancing wave. He can already hear them approaching, these monsters without names or feelings. Against all their best intel, there's seemingly no end to the stream of drones available for deployment onto the battlefield. Had he any strength left, he might try to run, though even then, human speed cannot match the machines. He could try to hide, if not for their scanners, but an even greater wall stands in his way, the simple and horrible truth: there is nothing left to run to. Everything and everyone he cared about has been utterly erased. His time is now up. Even faster than he anticipated, they arrive. Drones and their guns close in on every side. Without the need for speech, they perfectly and synchronously form an impenetrable perimeter in cold calculation. The man scans his sight and mind for a means of escape, but for the first and last time, nothing is forthcoming. This battle has lasted for days, as his comrades, those who were his family, were won by one coldly hunted down. Now he is all that's left of a dying dream, a dream that by all accounts should have been realized. And even he has finally reached his end. The man, spent of the dregs of his remaining resolve and energy, drops to his knees in defeat. Hold on one second, I gotta put blue light glasses on because I'm having trouble reading the screen. It's a little white with black borders, kind of hard to read at times. Eyes glazed and heart stalled, he looks to the ground, cold and motionless. Guns are pointed at the ready on all sides at a distance close to 20 meters. He simply waits for the trigger to be pulled to put him and his dreams out of their misery. Yet in the midst of the mechanical war, a loud and unusual sound is raised. A human voice, strong and commanding, trumpets across the battlefield.
Hold your fire!
The drone army at once releases their rigid fingers from their triggers as they stand to attention. The commander of this operation steps forward. A gravity follows each step, along with eyes discerning and cold, as he advances towards the lone survivor of the rebel forces. Arriving and halting a few feet away, he stands as a looming presence behind the hunched fighter. At first, he speaks no words, merely observing the exhausted man before him. The tense silence lingers at the end of this battle. Finally, the defeated soldier, between heaving breaths, raises his voice to the figure standing over his shoulder.
They're all gone. This should have been impossible. Our planning was flawless.
The man looks down on the soldier, eyes narrowed and glazed.
Impossible, you say? The folly is your own. You should know that Bosk controls the powers of the impossible.
Nani?
I take it you are the rebel leader, Ika Davis, correct?
The man pauses.
And what if I am? Why haven't you shot me?
I wanted to see the man who gave me so much trouble in the flesh.
In the flesh?
Our battles fought by machines. Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say such victories feel hollow.
Should that be feel? I thought it was felt.
What's your
but
point?
That's right.
I can recognize a battle well fought. A lesser adversary would not have survived as long as you did. I will do you the honor of killing you myself, so there is at least some human touch in this world of machines.
You don't have to do that.
Are you proud to be the leash held by those monsters? Huh?
Yeah, well.
This was our last chance. Now the people will never be free of them.
I expected better of you. Your mistake was thinking that freedom was so high a virtue. The truth of this world, it's become something quite different.
The lone soldier closes his eyes in acquiescence.
Just get it over with.
As you wish.
Oh! The man stares coldly at the lifeless body at his feet. The last of the rebels has finally been stamped out. He has fulfilled his role and ended the resistance that feebly stood in their way. And with all paths now clear comes the advent of a new dawn. The title of the game! Oh, that's creepy. Elevator in a mountain. Your journey begins. Six years later, present day, June 27th, 2066. Line, current, Zeta. Huh? What's that? Ugh, cut it out already. I'm trying to sleep here. Ugh. Huh? Oh yeah, I'm still on the ship. I must have dozed off at some point. Well, hello there. Let her poke you. Well, what's that girl's deal? Can I help you with something?
Hey, are you a scientist?
Oh, I like her voice. I like her look. What's that to you?
Just answer the question.
You seriously woke up a stranger on a boat just to ask him that?
I mean, why not? Life's too short to hold back the questions you want to ask.
Surely it can't be that short.
Well, we are literally the only 2 people on this boat, in case you didn't notice. I have been busting to ask you this entire time. Then you had the audacity to fall asleep on me.
I'd answer any of your questions. Huh? Funny, I didn't even notice there was anyone else on here.
So what's your answer already? Don't keep me waiting.
I see, I see. The allure of the lab coat is intoxicating to the female. It's tempting, but unfortunately waking up a stranger on a boat like this doesn't scream stable. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find the right guy.
Not that. It's actually quite hard to score a date with me.
Really?
The scientist question, remember?
Honestly, what do you think? You really think I would wear a lab coat purely for fun?
Actually, yeah, I kinda do think that. Why would you wear a coat on a tropical island?
She's not wrong. Damn, she's got me there. Oop. Alright, so, something sped up. Is there a log? Backlog, okay. Actually, yeah, I kind of do think that. Why would you wear a coat on a tropical? Damn, she got me there. I mean, I'm a real scientist, but it's true that I didn't need to wear my lab coat for this. But I can't tell. Okay, bye. Oh, sorry, one sec. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, but I can't tell her it's just for the ego either. She's got me cornered. Or yeah, cornered. And what about you? Surely you didn't need to wear something so revealing on the island. Oh man, dude, what are you doing?
Nope, I sure didn't. I just wear this because it makes me feel good.
Wearing this makes me feel good.
Same as what you're doing with your coat, right?
Damn it. She sure is perceptive. I'll give her that.
Anyways, I think I've screwed around with you long enough. You're Dr. Atlas Everly, right?
Huh? How'd you... I knew it. You weren't the only one summoned to this island, you know. Besides, the lab coat kind of gave it away. So, I know there's some voice acting in this, but why not just voice everything then? That the NPCs are saying. Right. I take it you've also been summoned to be part of this research expedition? Yep, sure have. And I guess I should introduce myself. The name's Amelia Miller. Nice to meet you, Doc. You don't strike me as a scientist. What's your role in the expedition? No, I'm no scientist. My role is to keep an eye on you lot. Make sure you don't land us in any trouble. To kick ass and take names. I think we just hit a jetty. We must have arrived. After removing our luggage, we watch the boat recede into the distant blue. A sense of relief washes over me, having finally arrived. The sun's rays and the endless ocean before me rejuvenate me. It almost feels like I've arrived for a tropical holiday. It's been a long journey to get here. 2 flights preceded our voyage by the sea. It was especially it was a specially chartered boat ride. The team on the island hired out a ferry from Tungatapu to get us here. It's impossible to get here otherwise. This island is about as remote as it gets. Why the serious face? I'm just thinking, now that I'm here, realize how far away from everything we are. It's a weird feeling. Not used to being away from home, Doc? Well, I'm certainly not used to being this far from home. Even so, the scenery doesn't get much better than this. Suddenly, the girl before me stops paying me attention, her eyes darting to the space behind me. So, could you do me a favor and play along? Huh? What are you talking about? Play along with what? If you want to make it through this, just play along with me, okay? What is she going on about? And what's up with that freaky smile of hers? Just as I try to decode her nonsense, an unfamiliar voice beckons me back from over my shoulder.
Well, it seems you've finally arrived, Dr. Everly.
Fabian, I take it.
Indeed. It's a pleasure to meet you in the flesh. I take it you had no problems with your travels?
No, everything was taken care of just like you promised.
Good. That is good news indeed.
This man sure has a strange way about him. I have to say, now that I'm here, it's dawning on me how strange this all is.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes life is stranger than fiction, wouldn't you say?
That's one way to put it. I've been anxious to hear why you needed someone like me all the way out here. It seems a little strange for a company as large as yours.
Indeed. I understand why it would seem so. As I've said, I will tell you everything you need to know in due time. The research here is of a sensitive nature.
Well, some sort of nature. You've talked a big game, I'll give you that. It's hard to believe this research will live up to expectations. I cast my mind back to Fabian's promises, research samples that are a scientific game changer. He kept almost all the details vague, but I now understand the meaning of an offer too good to refuse.
Perhaps it is hard to believe, but I can assure you, what you're about to see will far exceed your expectations.
Either way, as long as you pay what you've promised, even if the research is a bust, it'll still mean the trip was worth it.
Indeed.
I do it all for the money. Fabian's eyes momentarily drift away from me as he looks suspiciously at the woman silently standing to his left.
And you there, who might you be?
Oh, hello there. The name's Amelia. I'm the doc's assistant. She's what? Is that so? Dr. Evely, you never advised me you were bringing an assistant. Amelia's eyes bore through my soul. What should I do? She told me to play along, but she could be some crazy nut job for all I know. Is she here to ruin the research? Is she some terrorist? What the heck am I supposed to do? I should... play along, of course. I should play along for now, at least until I figure out what her deal is. The look she gave me before was seriously scary. But if I'm gonna do this, I've at least got to offer a little payback with my story. Sorry, my assistant is a seriously clingy individual. She's wildly in love with me, you see. I wasn't intending on bringing her, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. I hope it'll be okay. Damn, she doesn't seem upset by my story at all. Dude, why wouldn't you want her falling in love with you? I mean, look at her. Mamma mia. Is that so? I preferred if you would have told me beforehand, but far be it for me to get in the way of young love. Anywho, we should begin making our way to the site. We begin to make our way with our bags down a winding path through the trees. There's no sign of civilization, with the air about us feeling thick and oppressive. There's something strange about this forest. Yeah, the spread and shape of the trees somehow just feels wrong. I'm not sure why I feel this way. There's something in the air here, and my stomach stirs an unnamed feeling. You'll find many things on this island are unusual, Dr. Everly. This island was long considered cursed by the local peoples, never to be visited for fear of possession from the evil spirits that dwelt here. Although I don't believe in such things myself, I must say there certainly is something eerie about this place. This island, what is it really? What about it warrants paying someone like me such a large sum of money to research it? And why all this secrecy? Even the name and exact location have been hidden from me, with all the travel arrangements handled by Fabian's company, Aperta. Why would a pharmaceutical company like his be so interested in such a remote place? Are they developing some new medicine, or is there another reason? All I know is that we're... Excuse me. All I know is that we're a several-hour boat ride from Tonga Tapu in the South Pacific, and that's about it. I've been asked not to press for information while I'm here, so I won't bring it up now. Hopefully the answers will present themselves while I'm here. In any case, that's why you're here, to get to the bottom of what's causing all this. Causing what? Well, what we found was a surprise to us all. We are trying to ensure we keep the team here small. For the moment, you will be the only neuroscientist here. The biology team was sent elsewhere due to a lack of progress. Rounding another corner, we hear approaching footsteps. Hold on. Amelia flashes into a fighting stance when suddenly...
Whoa! What the...
An unfamiliar young woman bounds in from around the corner, letting out a startled cry as she almost runs into us. In response, Amelia tenses up, assuming a battle stance opposing the stunned girl in front of us.
Who are you? And what are you doing sneaking up on us?
Huh? Can someone tell me what the hell is going on? Why is this crazy lady trying to kill me?
What, who you're calling a lady? I'm probably younger than you know.
Boom! That's the issue you have with what she just said?
Gee, quite the feisty assistant you've got there, Dr. Everly. We'll have to keep an eye on her. Be at ease, Miss Miller. This here is Lyra Blythe. She's on technical support. She'll be aiding us in our tech and mapping the terrain on our journey.
Yes, you will. I don't have a problem with both of them being here. Amelia backs off with a slow nod of assent as the simmering tone begins to die down.
So you're Dr. Atlas Everly? I'm a fan of your work. We all use your neural chips here.
That's not surprising. Almost everyone does.
Side with Amelia. I agree, Amelia. It's hardly worth noting what is obvious. That is the quality of my invention. Oh, God, why did it... In truth, I didn't exactly invent them, but there's no point quibbling over details. So, Lyra, you're mapping the terrain, huh?
That's right. That's what this device here is for.
Lyra points to the AR goggles fixed on her head. That's pretty old tech, but I imagine she has a good reason for the old hardware.
Wherever we go, this device will give us a visual layout of our journey in real time. You can view the updated map data by clicking the magnifying glass icon on your neural interface below.
I see. So it's that big of a journey that we need a map, huh?
Depending how far we go in our research, it could be. Don't worry, we'll be doing a full briefing down there once everyone has gathered together. If you can wait until then, everything will be clear.
Lyra speaks with a tone that's sharp and sweet, both kind and direct, making it hard to reply in any way but agreement. Fair enough. Patience isn't my strong suit, but I guess it can't be helped.
So, I take it you being here means preparations are complete?
Yes, sir. Everything is now ready to take them down to the base.
Excellent.
Follow me. I'll lead the way.
Our pace slows as the trail finally reaches its end. This is it. In that cave? Is she trying to blow her own cover? I give a light shove of my elbow into Amelia's back. I hope she takes the hint to stop asking stupid questions. She's got me involved now, so we're both in trouble if she blows this. Yeah. How else will we get there? Don't mind her. She's just afraid of the dark. What? Anyway, don't we have some headlamps and protective gear to put on first? No need, at least not yet. Here, let's go. You'll see soon. After a short walk illuminated by Lyra's flashlight, we stop at the site of a metal structure. A door? That's right. That's why you don't need any equipment yet. This is an elevator that will take us down to the bottom of the first pit. That's where our base is, and where we can get you fitted with equipment for the rest of the journey. Why isn't your base up on the surface? Have you ever heard of base camp at Mount Everest? I think so. Base camp is located part way up the mountain. It's a better idea to have the supplies at a closer proximity to where the real journey begins. So basically, he's saying it's more convenient to have everything stored close to the research. Besides, this way it keeps everything out of the sight of prying eyes. So that's where we're going, huh? A conflicted look passes over Amelia's face. Come on, hop in. Although the door to get in was narrow, the elevator widens to a larger open steel cage. We begin our slow descent, and through the gaps in the steel cage, I see the exposed rock face streaming upward. It somehow looks to be flowing like a gentle stream. We are all silent, and in the darkness, the mood somehow turns somber. Is that a result of the imposing darkness? I guess we are all products of our environment, with each carrying its own mood. Something about the beach on a sunny day seems playful, or a windswept hill feels like a call to adventure. Yet, as we sink into the dark depths, it almost feels exposing. It's as if we're getting closer to the heart of the earth, to a core of existence we humans have no right to. This darkness contains secrets. I can just feel it, yet at the same time there is a claustrophobic feeling of unwelcome.
You were right to fear this place.
Huh? What was that?
It's too late to turn back now.
I look around. Everyone is still standing in silence. None of them appear to have tried to speak to me. Hey, did anyone say something just now? No response. Just puzzled looks. I guess nobody did. Then did anyone else hear like a whispering sound just then? Are you feeling okay, Doc? Really? What? Their puzzled looks make it clear nobody else heard a thing. In fact, did I really hear something just now? It's quiet in this place, and I did just let my thoughts run away from me. I've read that unfamiliar environments can play tricks on the mind. I guess I just imagined it. After waiting in silence for another minute or so, and hearing nothing else, I decided to put it out of mind. What else can I do? If I dwell on it, I'll just freak myself out, and probably over nothing. Instead, I switch my focus and decide to ask the pressing question. We've been on this thing for a while now. Just how far down does this thing go? Impressive, isn't it? This initial drop is almost 300 meters. 300 meters? Mind-boggling, isn't it? The largest straight pitch in the world is 600 meters, but anything above 50 meters makes it absurdly rare. Of course, this pit doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of how vast the cave is. And how vast is that? Nobody knows. We haven't come close to fully mapping it all. We're here. As we exit the elevator, before us lies the unending darkness of the cave illuminated only by Lyra's flashlight. We begin to advance slowly down the tunnel. I can feel how cut off we are from the surface world. This is another world, a world of darkness unfamiliar to the light. Bonded by the light. For that reason, I almost feel like we're intruders breaking the natural environment by our presence. We continue to advance down the straight tunnel, Lyra leading us with her flashlight, whilst I take the back of the pack. That flashlight is our lifeline until we get to base, with its light turning the rock face a pale yellow that would otherwise be endless gray and black. The tunnel is far larger than I would have expected this deep underground tunnel. We continue our silent march for some time. It almost feels a sacred silence that none dare to break, like the vast pause at the ending of a choir as the priest slowly makes his way to the pulpit. Yet as the minutes stream by in the seemingly endless passageway, something catches my eye. Out of the direct reach of the light, a tiny crystalline orb sits upon the ground near the cave wall. Perhaps an orb isn't the right word. It isn't truly round and is probably just a little larger than a golf ball. I'm surprised I even noticed it in this darkness, particularly given the large size of this tunnel. Yet something about it seems out of place, like a lone flower in an otherwise empty field. But this is my chance to get it. I'll likely be doing this research under supervision, and if these crystalline formations are as special as Fabian led me to believe, this might be my only chance to get one to take back with me. I glance ahead. I'm at the back of the pack, so it should be easy to get it without anyone noticing. I open the pocket of my lab coat, ready for the orb. As I remove it from the ground, there's a slight resistance. It almost felt like removing it from the rock was plucking fruit from a tree. I slip it into my pocket and close it up before dashing to catch up with the rest. As I make it back to the group, Fabian turns around, apparently having heard the sound of my arriving footsteps. Everything okay, Dr. Everly? Yeah, I just needed to tie my shoelaces, yeah. I walk past Fabian as if nothing had happened. A strange sense of unease hangs over me, but it's not because I took that sample. It's this place. Fabian was right. There's something off about it. You okay, Atlas? Lyra turns to me, genuine warmth radiating from her expression. I must have had a silly look on my face again. Huh? I looked that pathetic just now, did I? Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Just lost in thought. That's good. You do that quite a bit, don't you? I guess so. Is it that... it's that obvious? I only met her an hour ago, so that's no good. Yeah, several times already it seemed like you were somewhere far away. I've always been like that. I get caught up in my head about all kinds of stuff. I can't help but come up with all kinds of theories about basically everything I see, but I won't bore her with the details. Back in school, I'd get in trouble for zoning out, but I've learned to put my wandering mind to good use. Is that why you became a neuroscientist? It'd take a certain type of person to concern himself with studying brains. I guess. There were a bunch of reasons, but most of all, it just suits me. Well, if it makes you feel any better, you're not the only one zoning out around here. Even right now, I'm running through my mind how I'm going to reconfigure the network down here. It's a massive headache to solve. You get a connection down here? We're limited to wired connections, and even they are only in a few rooms. This rock doesn't let wireless signals penetrate, unfortunately. Right. It also means those neural chips of yours aren't going to work down here. Even your map and clock functions will only update periodically to reduce neural strain while you're cut off from network processing. That's fine. Might be good to have a break from all the noise anyway. While Lyra and I are talking, Fabian, who is walking by himself a few paces forward, stops to allow us to catch up as he injects himself into the conversation. So, Atlas, you're okay to be working by yourself on a project for a while? I suppose, but where's the rest of the research team? We still have a geologist on hand, but we're in between biology teams at the moment. We'll have them replaced in several weeks. In the meantime, you can get started on your side of the work. Do you mind if I ask why you need a neuroscientist for work in a cave? Fabian allows Lyra to continue ahead as he draws close, speaking in a low, whisper-like voice as he leans in towards my ear. All will become clear, Dr. Everly. Just wait until we reach the lab. I will say, though, if you can help us crack this research, it'll be the most important discovery of our lifetimes. It'll far eclipse your work on those neurochips, as important as that was. Just imagine the fame and wealth that'll be yours if you're able to crack this for us. There's something in Fabian's manner that puts me off. Sure, those things would be nice, but the way he speaks of it makes my skin crawl. I guess that's just businessmen, though. As long as I get paid and the science is interesting, that's enough for me. Well, I'll do my best. Feeling the need to distance myself from Fabian, I begin to press ahead to catch up with the others, who seem to be engaged in a conversation of their own. But as I begin to move forward, I notice something is wrong. Did I just lose my balance? What's happening? Everything around me seems to be trembling. My feet can't even stay steady on the ground. This has to be me, right? Am I about to faint or something? Are all my senses just going haywire? No, it can't be that. This noise. I look over to my left. The look on Fabian's face tells me all I need to know. What? No. No! Is this an earthquake? What the hell? It can't be. We just got here. What are the chances of that? Cave in. Run! We gotta get somewhere more secure. Lyra's voice jolts me out of my whirlwind of panic thoughts that had me frozen in place. Now isn't the time to be contemplating how ridiculous this situation seems. We gotta get somewhere safe. Right, let's get out of here. Amelia and Lyra lead the way in a dash, leaving Fabian and myself in a scramble to keep our balance and keep up with them. We make a decisive dash straight down the passageway, abandoning our bags in the process. Oh, that's good. Lyra and Amelia are surprisingly nimble and sure-footed despite the shaking earth. Debris and small rocks rain down on us, as does the groaning noise of strained earth. Panic follows every step. My heart feels like it's gonna burst through my chest. This can't be real. My mouth goes dry as the cold shock of realization hits me. I might get trapped down here if I can't find a way to escape, but these damn rocks encircle me in every direction. Damn it, I can't get out. I can't get out! My world suddenly blurs as for a moment I lose touch of my surroundings in the midst of the panic. Damn it! Keep your head. This isn't the time for a panic attack. I need to stay calm. I have to breathe. I begin to regain my focus as I hear a crying out from right beside me. It sounded like Fabian. A rock must have struck him. Damn it! I've lost sight of him and our light source is dwindling. Lyra's getting too far ahead. What should I do? There's no time to look for Fabian. I'm about to run out of light. If I go back, I'm as good as dead. My best bet is to catch up with Amelia and Lyra. We can come back with the light once the cave-in has subsided. If he's lucky, he won't get hit by any large debris. I keep my sprint steady despite the panic threatening to steal my breath. I can't fall too far behind. Their flashlight is my lifeline down here. This darkness is too threatening to get lost in. Even the momentary thought of it is too horrible to dwell on. This fear drives further power into my legs. Waves of rippled earth pass by me despite powerful tremors that threaten to throw me off balance entirely. But my initial salvation arrives. I catch up to the light source, and with it Amelia and Lyra. It's still coming? Lyra exclaims as she looks to the falling debris to her side mid-dash. It seems they hadn't even realized I had fallen behind. Just how long is this thing gonna last? I know, this thing seriously doesn't know when to quit, does it? Kind of reminds me of too many men I've met over the years. Whoa! Are you seriously making jokes at a time like this? Shut up and run! Jeez, a bit pushy, aren't we, Doc? But don't worry, I'm not gonna die here. Not like this. Something about Amelia's tone is sure. I don't doubt her. We continue our swift flight down the passage. My heart rate continues to climb. I'm not sure how much longer I can keep up this pace, but slowing down isn't an option. We hear large debris falling from behind us, and the roar is only growing louder as it begins to close in on us. The cave-in following us feels more like a predatory beast than a simple force of nature. We are the prey, and the predator is nature itself. This is not a battle we can win, only one we can hope ends of its own accord. What's going on? What kind of cave-in is this? Just as Lyra is uttering these words, we hear a roar emerge from behind us, a roar that is like the final surge of a wounded warrior on the battlefield. We can't outrun it any longer. Brace yourselves! At Lyra's cry, we turn back to see the advancing wave as we prepare ourselves for impact. As the darkening roar approaches, all I'm left with is the empty sense of the absurdity of it all, and a fool's hope that I might somehow survive. Death! It's here. That's cool animation. I like that. Yet silence is all that descends upon us. I await impact that never arrives. I'm alive? I breathe in some of the loosened dust, causing me to momentarily choke as I cough to clear my lungs. I regain my breath as the dust slowly begins to dissipate, with disbelief and relief washing over me at the same time. Hey, did any of you guys die on me? No, I'm fine. Somehow. I'm okay too. It looks like we got just far away enough. That was close. Too close. I don't know if I should feel grateful or grieved. The fact this happened is senseless, but it could have been far worse. But we're not out of the woods yet. We still don't know how serious this is. Fabian, you there? Amelia calls out for a voice I know won't answer. Where's Fabian? I lost him back there. I think he must have tripped or something. Why didn't you go back and help him? Why didn't you? It's because you ran so far ahead with the light, I wasn't able to go help him. But how was I supposed to? Before we can continue, Amelia cuts in decisively. Alright, settle down. It's no use blaming each other now. It all happened too quickly for any of us to think anyway. You're right. We spend a moment in silent contemplation, waiting for the dust around us to settle. For the moment, the cave-in seems to have stopped. We'll have to figure out what we can do next. We have to go back and look for Fabian. Without a flashlight, he has no hope to make it through all this rubble. It won't be safe. But you're right, he doesn't have much hope if we don't go back for him. Are we sure this is the right call? I'm sure. The only reason I kept going was the thought I'd come back for him with the light. Even if it's dangerous, we can't abandon him now. Alright then, I agree. As long as you understand what you're getting yourself into. There haven't been any more rumblings. I think it should be safe now. Safe is too strong a word, but we should be okay if we take it slow. We have to assume that all rocks underfoot are unstable as we go. Okay, let's head out. Following Lyra's flashlight, we slowly make our way over mounds of falling rocks. I think I've said Lyra and Lyra like many times. Lyra. We're going to call her Lyra. Lyra? Yeah, Lyra, it's fine. Some sections are so filled with debris that the tunnel opening becomes tight to fit through, whilst other sections are more sparse. With the instability of the mounds, safe travel takes some time. Ah! Lyra mistakenly steps on a loose rock, sending stones streaming down the pile, threatening to pin her ankles in the flow. Watch out! I quickly thrust my hand out, grabbing her arm and pulling her back upright out of the stream and towards myself. Her momentum sends her into my chest as she braces herself against me. Oh. Thanks. Sure, no problem. Well, this is awkward, though not totally unwelcome. Alright, that's enough. Move it, you two. We carefully advance through the sea of stone, one cautious step at a time. I'm a scientist. I can't have two ladies at once for once. Jesus. There are no signs of additional collapses, and we grow less anxious about the possibility as time passes. We didn't have time to run far. He's got to be around here somewhere. Fabian? Fabian! We begin calling his name, awaiting a response. This section looks familiar. It must have been near here somewhere. Just as I have this thought, I'm interrupted by Lyra's strained voice.
No.
Lyra can only repeat the one word over and over. I follow her eyes and the flashlight streak to the surface of her shock. Oh boy. Oh, he's dead. Lyra's pain scream echoes out amongst the cold stone. I can't even register what I'm seeing. The sight in front of me is unlike anything I faced before. Fabian's lifeless body lies before us. A cold wave of shock courses through my body. It can't be true, can it? But no matter how badly I wish otherwise, there's no denying the truth in front of my eyes. Even without checking for a pulse, I can tell he's nothing more than an empty shell. He didn't make it. Fabian is dead.
Damn it.
Am I responsible for this? Could I have saved him if I had stopped when he was struck by that rock? Amelia checks for a pulse anyway, then shakes her head in resignation. Silence envelops us all as we try to come to terms with the horror of what we've stumbled into. I didn't know Fabian very well. Before today, I'd only spoken with him a handful of times in the lead up to this trip. Even so, a pit opens in my stomach at the senseless loss of life. The timing of that cave-in was strange. We should take a look around here, just to make sure we aren't missing anything. Yeah, I guess we should. Lyra's holding the flashlight, but she's too distraught to inspect this scene. Although it's the last thing I want to do, I have no choice. I can't leave it to Lyra. Here, let me take this. I'll do it. Yeah, okay. I steel my resolve and ready myself. Use your cursor to guide the flashlight to inspect the scene. Oh. Looks like he was struck on the head at least several times. Those lifeless eyes. He's gone. His right leg has been crushed under a large boulder from the knee down. There are several wounds on the other leg. I wonder if those were from falling rocks. He slumped forward over a large boulder. I wonder how he ended up in this position. The cave behind us is filled with countless loose rocks and boulders from the collapse. Okay, we got that one. Got that one. Nope, got that one. Okay. Oh. Wait, what is that? Leaning against a rock right next to the body lies a knife. What on earth? The design is simple yet oddly shaped. I've never seen a knife like it. Yet it's not that aspect of the design that catches my eye. What is that symbol on the blade? Something about the taunting eye grates at me. It's haunting and entirely out of place in this scene. It looks kind of familiar, but I don't know what it means. I do. That symbol, it's the Eye of Ra. The Eye of what? It's a symbol of an ancient Egyptian god. The Eye of Ra symbolizes authority, destructive power, and retribution. Retribution? Are you sure? Growing up, my little sister and I were obsessed with ancient civilizations, and Egypt was the most fascinating of them all. There's no way I would mistake it. Yeah, I'm sure. Lyra's frightened expression catches my eye. There's something so profoundly off about this whole event that my mind hasn't even processed it yet. But this isn't the same for Lyra. This has hit her hard. Why is that symbol on the knife? We're nowhere near Egypt. And why is it right next to Fabian? Amelia bends down to Fabian's body to take a closer look. There's a sharp gouge in his leg here. It's probably what caused him to fall behind. Do you think it was done by this knife? Amelia pauses and inspects the blade for a moment. It's hard to say. A sharp enough rock with the right force could have done this, though it's a relatively clean cut, so it would be quite unlikely. The main problem is there's no blood on that knife. She's right. What do you know? She's right. In fact, this blade is pristine, like it's never been used. What is it? What does this mean? I don't get it. Do you think someone attacked Fabian? That it wasn't an accident? Lyra's worked up. She knew Fabian the best, and between a cave-in and coming across his body, it's amazing how well she's handling this. Even with this in mind, it's a serious situation. We have to be honest with her here. We can't afford to be so sensitive that we don't grapple with the reality we're faced with. This is potentially more dire than just the cave-in. I take a moment to think through the options. There's a gouge on the leg which could be caused by the knife. Sitting right next to him is a knife with a strange symbol. Yet the knife is completely clean. I take a moment in silence to synthesize this information before calmly but directly sharing my thoughts. I can think of several options to explain what's happened here, which are, well, the first is the knife was used to attack Fabian, but was then cleaned and left behind. It'd be very strange to clean it then leave it behind. To hide the evidence, it'd just be easier to take the knife with you. Yes, unless the attacker was trying to send us a message by leaving the knife behind afterwards. I stare at the strange symbol contained on the knife. What kind of freak would attack someone and then leave behind a clean knife? The emotion of Lyra's voice is palpable. It's a good point. If some bastard attacked Fabian and left a knife behind to send us a message, surely a bloody knife would be more threatening. They're both right. It would be unusual, but we can't rule out that there was an attacker and that they may have had their own reasons for doing this we don't yet understand. This leads us to another quite similar option, which we started touching on just now. The knife might not have been used in the attack directly, but instead its purpose was only to send a message to the rest of us. If either of those options are true, wouldn't that mean there's someone else in the cave nearby who planned this? A wave of fear washes over me at this thought. If someone left this knife, then surely they have to be nearby. For all we know, there could be someone watching us right now. I won't mention this to the girls. I don't want to unnecessarily scare them. It's hard to know who left it and what their motive was, if this is true. I wouldn't be too concerned, though. What? How could you not be concerned? Because I don't think this is right. I think there's a much simpler explanation. The final option I can think of, and the one I think is most likely, is this. This could be Fabian's knife that fell out of his pocket in the midst of the cave-in. Fabian's knife? This option makes the most sense. It explains how the knife got here and why there's no blood on it. It also means we don't have to think about there being a killer around, nor some weirdo trying to send us cryptic messages. It means that Fabian's death, as tragic as it is simply the result of a freak natural event. Is there a save option? It's a quick save. Okay. I think there's another person in the cave. Are you aware of Fabian having such a knife, Lyra? I'm not, but it's not like I knew everything about him. I've only worked here for a few months. Still, it'd be pretty strange to be carrying such a big and weird knife around. That's true. It's a bit oversized to just be a utility knife. Is there a case for it in one of his pockets? That's a good point. There's no way he could carry around such a sharp knife without a case. If it's Fabian's, he'd need a sheath for it. Then let's search for the sheath. If we find it, it confirms it's Fabian's knife. I grip the flashlight tight in my hand. Right. Let's search for the sheath. We should probably check if the sheath is on him, but I hesitate. My body doesn't want to move. Is it really the right thing to do? Do you think we need to check his body? Yeah, here, I'll do it. Without hesitation, Amelia steps forward and crouches by his body. She checks his pockets and around his slumped body for any sign of the sheath. Nothing. His pockets are completely empty. I see. Just who is this girl? She's tough. Come on, let's look somewhere else. Let's search the surrounding area. It could have dropped nearby while Fabian was running. We take our time searching a nearby stretch of tunnel. It's a vast area filled with loose stone, so we can't rule out that it's here somewhere, but I don't like our chances of finding it. After a while, we converge back next to where Fabian lies. Did you guys find anything? No, though I never liked my chances to begin with, so they had no luck either. Although I recoil at the sight of blood pooling beneath the rock, I force myself forward. I search around his legs and around the boulder pinning him down. There's nothing here. Of course, this boulder would weigh at least a ton, so if the sheath was trapped underneath, there'd be no chance of finding it. Then let's search elsewhere. Alright, where am I not checking? We've already looked over everything, haven't we? Yeah, I think it's time to give up on the search. It's possible it's still here somewhere, but it'd take forever to search under every rock. You're right. Without the sheath, all 3 explanations for the knife are still on the table, and they all pose major problems for us. Even though I still think it's most likely Fabian's knife, we simply don't have the evidence to be sure. I also have to own my bias. Every part of me wants it to be Fabian's knife, mainly because of the horror that would come from either of the other 2 options. Well, what do we do from here? I don't like the idea of leaving him here like this, but we don't even understand how dire our own situation is yet. Plus, we don't want to interfere with a potential crime scene. She's right. As inhumane as it might feel, leaving him here like this might actually be the best option for now. We're really going to just leave him like this? I can hear the pain in Lyra's voice. She's doing so well to hold it together, but this is threatening to break her. I need to reassure her. It doesn't feel right to just leave him. I agree with you. But look at it this way. It's our duty to make it back to the surface without disturbing the scene. Once we make it back, we can get the authorities to look over all this and then take his body for a proper burial. Lyra's face twists in a pained frustration. After a few moments in thought, her face softens as she lets out a sigh of resignation. Alright, I understand. We have to make it back out now, for Fabian's sake. She speaks out loud for her own hearing, stealing her resolve. Alright then, the first thing to figure out is if the cave-in affected our way out. Let's see if the elevator's still working. As the 2 set out ahead of me, I pick up the knife to inspect it one last time. I turn it over to inspect the other side, which reveals a mirror image of the blade's symbol. What could this mean? With many lingering thoughts, I place the knife back down and follow the others along the trail. We head back towards the elevator, but this time the path is more difficult to traverse due to the debris. Before long, we arrive at a section of the tunnel that stops us in our tracks. Damn it! It really came down heavy in this section. The tunnel is completely blocked off. There isn't even space to crawl through. These are large boulders, too. We don't have a hope of moving them. I pause a moment to take stock of the situation. We're likely quite close to the elevator now, which makes me want to try everything to get through this final hurdle. I don't quite agree with Lyra's assessment. We might be able to shift these large boulders on top if we dislodge the smaller ones beneath them. The problem with this is that it's incredibly dangerous. We're quite likely to get ourselves buried in rock trying that. If we did somehow manage to shift the boulders, there's a good chance the elevator is damaged anyway, given the cave-in appears to be getting worse the closer to the elevator we get. I think it's too dangerous to try to shift these rocks right now, particularly given we don't know the state of the elevator. Does this mean we're trapped down here? Silence. The idea that we might be trapped 300 meters below the surface sends a ripple of terror through us all. Worst of all, nobody knows we're down here. Nobody's coming to look for us. Just as oppressive thoughts begin filling my mind, Amelia cuts through the tension. I think it's far too early to say that. We got plenty of options to explore first. Let's try to think positive, right? Although her act feels a little forced, her light-hearted response does lift my spirits, even if only slightly. She's completely right. She's completely right. We need to keep some focus. Lyra, are you able to use your AR goggles to check the state of the elevator? No, these just map the terrain we visited. But the base has a bunch of sensors at various positions. It should be possible to check the elevator from there. Right, the base is where we were headed originally. Actually, Jed is probably still down here. Huh? Who's that? Jed, you went ahead of us to make preparations to brief you on arrival. They should be at the base right now. Right, they said they would give the briefing and all our safety equipment at the base. So someone was already there waiting for us to arrive. That means they're likely trapped down here for the moment, just like we are. Jed is a geologist. It was his job to brief you on the nature of this cave before you started your research. Really? So we're not alone? And there's a man who might actually be helpful in this situation? Finally, some good news. I'm gonna do my best to not take that one personally. Oh, and there's some supplies at the base too. Water, rations. Would it have been damaged by the cave-in? I doubt it. Those rooms are reinforced. With Jed's knowledge of geology, he should be able to tell us more about the causes of this cave-in, too. What are we waiting for? I'm starving. Let's get to the base. After some time of trudging through loose stone, we arrive at a section that shows little signs of a cave-in. According to my reading, this is about where we made it to earlier before we turned back to look for Fabian. Lyra's voice trails off at the mention of Fabian. It's gonna take a long time to come to grips with what happened. It still doesn't feel real. I gotta say, we're a lucky bunch to have made it out. We were just a few seconds away from being pinned under all that rock. Yeah, I guess so. It doesn't look like the cave-in damaged this section up here at all. I wonder if it was just isolated to that first section. Who knows? There's no point trying to guess. We'll be able to find out what we need at the base. And not just that, but hopefully we'll find some tasty treats. Amelia's ability to disconnect from the severity of the situation is unbelievable. Even so, her lightheartedness dispels much of my own tension, so whilst I wouldn't admit it to her, her presence is definitely helping. That, along with the promise of a safe place and a meal, is keeping me going at this point. The thought of a reinforced room is a needed mental relief from this exposed rock that feels like it could fall on us at any moment. We've now also been walking for some time, and the stress of everything that's happened is starting to get to us as the initial wave of adrenaline fades. I'm aware that it's been a long time since I've eaten, as a dull and empty pain fills my stomach. Fortunately, according to Lyra, we're almost there. Reaching this base can't come soon enough. Base. Long before we round a corner and emerge at a door cut into the rock. We're here. You've reached the base. As you step through the threshold of the door, it takes a few seconds for our eyes to adjust to the large room opening up before us. The space seems to be cut into the rock, yet the walls are clad and finished as if it were any room on the surface. If it wasn't for the lack of windows, there would be few clues we were deep underground. As we attempt to advance into the room, a whirlwind of energy suddenly arrives to block our path.
I knew we'd be your next targets!
Hello, Kimika.
Show your true form, evil spirits!
Huh? What? What is this?
You can't fool me by playing dumb. You're the one who brought this calamity upon us, aren't you? Reveal yourselves!
Well, I was not expecting this.
In tow, a man approaches with a smooth and calming demeanor.
All right, settle down, Kimika. They aren't evil spirits.
That's what they'd want you to think.
Lyra, it's good to see you made it here. For a while, we feared the worst.
I'm so glad you're okay. I had hoped you managed to shelter safely in here.
That we did.
Despite the strange introduction, relief washed over us at the feeling of safety in this room, and the friendly faces that greet us here.
Guys, this here is Jed Fenton. He's our resident geologist, and quite the guru when it comes to caves.
Well, it's a good thing we got Vin then.
You're too kind as always, Lyra.
Lyra, okay. Jed pauses in thought before turning to face me.
And you must be Dr. Everly. It's a pleasure to meet you. I only wish it were under better circumstances.
Likewise.
Oh, by the way, I'm totally here too. Thanks for acknowledging my existence.
A scary aura radiates from Amelia despite her large smile.
Jed, the pink lady is radiating a great evil. Are you sure she isn't an evil spirit? Hey, who are you calling a lady?
For the second time, that's not an insult.
I suppose I'll need to introduce myself then. The name's Amelia Miller. I'm the Doc here's young and very attractive assistant.
Yes, she is. Well, this is awkward. She's trying way too hard pretending to be my assistant. She also seems weirdly hung up on coming across as young. She's probably in her mid-20s, which isn't even old. Someone needs to tell her to relax about all this. It's not gonna be me that does it, though. Something in those glares of hers tells me not to get on her bad side. Anyway. Who's this bundle of energy? Oh, that's right. You two never met, did you? This here is Kimika. Kimika is the name. Pleased to meet you. What's with these dramatic poses? Hasn't anyone taught you? The first step towards enlightenment is to express how you feel. Right. Any elbow pads? Don't you know it's rude to comment on a woman's clothes? Since when are elbow pads clothes? Well, if you must know, I dress prepared for whatever this cave might throw at me. Elbow pads and knee pads are normal accessories for cavers to protect themselves as they traverse the hardened ground. Don't you know that? Then why are you wearing a white dress? Who said you can't look good while doing it? I'm not getting anywhere with this. She's probably right, though. It's not my job to comment on what she wears. Besides, she seems to bring a positive and bouncy energy, With everything that's been happening, it's refreshing, if anything. So there's no point in being too hard on her. Kimika's here on a prac for her... Wait, here on a prac for her anthropology studies. But I'll warn you now, she may not look like it, but she's a prodigy when it comes to ancient myths and cultures. She's on a prac? What's a prac? Yeah, exactly. A practicum. You know, it's like work experience for college. Oh, somebody's hungry. Amelia, was that your stomach? So these introductions are lovely and all, but maybe we can hold the talking until after some food? Oh yeah, we can do that. Kimika, can you show them to the rations? On it! Opening the fridge and lockers, Kimika reveals an assortment of rations. The rations in the fridge look like simple non-perishable meat dishes, things like packaged sausages and strips of beef. Doesn't look particularly appetizing, but it's good enough in a bind. It'd probably last some time outside the fridge, too. The food in the lockers mainly consists of different types of energy bars. Seriously, this is all you've got? This is no cruise ship, Amelia. What did you expect? Well, I guess it'll do. I've been in worse predicaments than this. Don't you worry. I wasn't worried, but no point voicing that. We each take some food and opening the pack. We each take some food and opening the packets with the supplied disposable cutlery. We begin our meal. As soon as the food hits my mouth, I'm suddenly aware of just how hungry I was and how fast I'm trying to get each successive mouthful down my throat, despite the somewhat bland taste. I'm flooded again with a sense of relief to be out of that oppressive cave. So, Kimika, I'm sorry I didn't get to greet you when you arrived yesterday. I was running around like crazy trying to get our supplies in order. It seems you've known Jed for a while? Yep, probably about a year now. We met when I was a guest lecturing at her college last year, and she's been bugging me with her questions and requests ever since. That's not my fault. Mythology overlaps heaps with geology. How else can I get answers to my questions if I don't have an expert to call on? I'm just surprised Fabian gave it the okay for you to come here, to be honest. It wasn't easy, but giving her knowledge of the local Polynesian myths and traditions, I was able to convince Fabian she'd be useful. Speaking of Fabian, I must want to ask, but I noticed he isn't with you. Did you manage to connect with him earlier? Do you know if he's okay? Silence envelops the room at Jed's questioning. A silence that speaks louder than words. The promise of food, safety, and the friendly faces that greeted us here made me lose sight of the situation momentarily. But now I'm yanked back out of that short-lived joy by the gravity etched on the face of Jed before me. He didn't make it, huh? Damn it! A sharp ring of anger resonates throughout the small room at Jed's words, despite the relatively subdued volume. So what happened? We take our time explaining the situation. We include everything from meeting Fabian through to the sudden cave-in and finding his body after our search. At times he interjects to ask questions, but mostly stays quiet and listens as we take turns filling in the scene. Kimika listens in with a troubled look but never intervenes, keeping her eyes downcast toward the floor. The finding of the knife spurred the most questions, but like us, he appears unsure of what it could mean. So that's what happened. I just can't make sense of it. Jed pauses in contemplation before shifting his thoughts to the situation at hand. Though at least there's one good thing that came from your trip back. Shows us the sensors here were accurate. The way back to the elevator really is blocked off. You're still getting a feed from the sensors? What do they say? The short answer is we're in trouble. The sensors indicate the cave is blocked off and the elevator is damaged. To top this off, there's no other known way to get out of this cave. Damn it. Are we really trapped down here? Why didn't you tell me before? I'm sorry. I didn't want to scare you, particularly if the sensors were just damaged. But we know now that's not the case. They've seen the tunnel being blocked firsthand. Let's see. Jed seems to be a pretty thoughtful guy, and Kimika has a sensitive soul. I don't blame him for not wanting to freak her out, but unfortunately we're past being able to gloss over this. A heavy silence descends upon us as we each consider the gravity of the situation. The fact is, we're now over 300 meters underground, entombed in stone with no escape. This island is completely deserted. Nobody is going to stumble upon us by chance. This is beyond serious. This is incredibly dire. We have to make a call on what to do next. There's enough food and water to survive here for a while, but nobody knows we're trapped down here. Nobody is coming to look for us. Despite Amelia's tendency to act outrageous and carefree, it's clear that underneath all that is a strong and clever woman. It's fortunate she's here to cut to the heart of the matter. I thought it said heat of the moment, but she's right. Supplies are usually dropped off every 2 weeks. The next one is coming a week from today. but they usually just drop it off at the dock for us to collect and head straight on. So unless we do something, we'll remain trapped until we run out of supplies. I'm afraid that sounds about right. Digging us out of here would take some time. They'd need to ship in all the equipment, and we're a long way down. Unless we alert someone soon, we're gonna run out of time to be rescued. Then we need to act. Jed, can you send a message out from the computer? It should still be connected to the satellite that's on the surface, right? Of course! With this island being so remote, you would need a satellite for emergency communications and internet connection. But we're too far below the surface, a satellite signal would never penetrate through all this rock. The only way to send a signal from down here would be through a connection to a satellite sitting on the surface of the island. Since the cave-in, we've lost most of our comm links. We still have a connection to the sensors in the first place of this cave, first part of the cave, but that's it. I can't get a feed to the satellite in the surface. Here, let me have a look. We follow Lyra over to the computers as she begins to type away furiously on the keyboard. Her furrowed eyebrows display an intense focus as her eyes rapidly scan the screen. She's so kind and relaxed in our interactions, I forgot that she's a tech wizard. I can see there's a fire in her eyes in situations like this. No luck. It's just like you said, Jed. It isn't even registering the connection at all. I guess either the cable got severed or the comm box took damage in the cave-in. The cable got damaged? I haven't seen any cables running along the tunnels. Wait a minute, then how do we even have power down here? She's right, actually. There was no cabling running from the elevator through to the base here. You noticed that, Kimika? How astute. Each of the 3 powered rooms down here runs off its own miniature atomic generator. A miniature atomic generator? Just when I thought nothing else could go wrong. Actually, they are incredibly safe. They are completely sealed and only use a tiny amount of fuel. The technology is well developed. It was part of what was uncovered in the Enigma files 6 years ago. Part of the what files? How the hell did Fabian have access to that class of tech? A fire is on Amelia's lips. That's not important for the moment. We can talk about that later. I have a feeling Lyra wasn't supposed to let that slip based on her reaction. I know too well the power of those files. It seems Amelia does too. Lyra looks keen to quickly move the conversation on. I'll have to remember to press her on that later. The point is, each room has its own power source, no cabling required. This is a much safer option than relying on power being supplied externally. This cave-in event has proven that. Communication, unfortunately, is a different story. The comm box takes signals from here and the lab and sends them up to the surface via a signal cable. If there's a cable to the surface, can we follow it to get out? Kimika suddenly perks up at the thought, but is almost certainly going to have her hopes dashed. Sorry, Kimika. I wish it were that easy. I know the cabling well. I advised the planning of it at Fabian's request. The cable runs through a tiny natural shaft for part of the way, and the rest of the distance was cut as a micro borehole? No bigger than the size of a coin. The location of the comm box is situated at the ideal point between here and the lab, right where the natural shaft runs up vertically. Jed takes a seat at his computer and opens up a map of the cave as we peer over his shoulder. This is us here at the base, not far from the entrance to the cave. Visually, it seems like where we are now is quite close to the elevator, but with everything that happened today, it feels anything but. It feels like we ran a marathon to get here. As you can see, if you follow the tunnel on from here, you will arrive at the comm box. Judging by the distance, it seems about the same distance from here to the comm box as here to the elevator. But something about this map catches my eye. I noticed before you scrolled that the lab was right at the bottom. But why does this map cut off almost completely? There's much to this cave that hasn't been explored yet. At least, that's what Fabian said. Wait, does the cave drop straight down from here? A look of concern passes over Kimika's face as she points out the line between here and the comm box before she abruptly puts her worry behind her. Not that I mind. I have the power to face any challenge before me, vertical drops and all. Eyes ahead, always forward, never back. Once again, Kimika assumes a power stance. Don't worry, sweetie. See that symbol in the top right? This map is aligned, so the top is north. Oh, whoops. This means the map shows a bird's eye view, so going down the map means traveling south. But that number there is how far below we are in meters, right? Right. And the further down the map I look, the deeper the cave is. Another astute observation, Kimika. Generally speaking, the cave slowly slants down the further away from the entrance you get. It isn't level. He's right. The journey here was that of a gradual descent down the tunnel. There's some pits the sun drops through, as well as short areas that incline back up, but these aren't represented well in this map. It means this map is helpful for plotting a course, but not for understanding the difficulty of the terrain. Still, the comm box doesn't seem far, nor does the elevation drop alarmingly. Then I think it's clear what we need to do. We have to go check out the comm box and see if there's a way to fix the broken connection. If there's a way to fix the connection and we can send out a distress signal, then all we need to do is hang tight here in the base until help arrives. It's a little cramped for 5 people to spend a long time in, but it has everything we need. At a guess, I'd say the food and water should last about a week. That would be plenty of time for help to arrive. Oh boy. Take a moment to settle in. We'll begin to prepare soon. I think this is where we're going to wrap up here. So, let's see. Okay, so this is Advent Dawn. This is a pretty good story. We didn't run into... Actually, that's the guy we saw at the beginning. But, this graphic novel's getting pretty good. I would recommend playing it. I'm not the biggest graphic novel guy, but I do like doing that because I like doing the voices sometimes. If you were new to the channel... Let's see what Flowchart... Oh, Flowchart tells you. Oh, okay. Oh, that's neat. Oh, that's pretty cool. So this is about the first hour plus of the game. Terminal ending. So I guess something would cause the game to stop. So you can go into the... Okay, I like that you can jump back to points in the story. Okay. Well, if you have made it this far, thumbs up, share the video, subscribe, and leave a comment because you're trying to grow the channel. Couldn't really use your help. This has been Advent Dawn. I'm really enjoying it so far. Lovely. I like the character designs and everything. Wink, wink, snicker, snicker, cough, cough. But, my name is Steve. We hope to see you in the next one. Laters. Have a good one, everybody.